there's a guy named Sean Hannity. He might take a very lovely young lady that he knows very, very well to dinner in Washington, and they don't have to. And she's sitting right next to you, by the way.
That's right.
But
Mr. President,
I don't want to get him in trouble, so I better explain exactly. We don't want any secrets here. But
exactly right.
That's the greatest relationship. I hope I'm not breaking any news. This could be the biggest. Hey, this could be the most important thing I said. But let me tell you, those are two great, Ainsley and Sean, great people. And when they go out to dinner, I don't want to see them get mugged.
Mr. President, we're so happy for them. But on a serious note, Mr. President, when you have those world leaders, because this is the topic of conversation for the whole world.
Imagine if I had done any of this.
I know this is what every American wants to hear about as inflation soars, bankruptcies mount, prices go up, and Epstein questions remain unanswered. Is an engagement between two Fox hosts, something that, despite efforts from the hosts, clearly uncomfortable on the show, Trump keeps going back to.
They can hold hands, they can walk down the street, they're both superstars. I want to know who makes more money, because she's got to be making a lot.
Mr. President Trump, we want to thank you so much for joining us this morning. We know that you have lots of other wars around the world that you need to end, and that's more important than anything. So we appreciate you joining us this morning.
No, thank you very much,
you, Mr. President.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. And Ainsley, thank you. I hope I didn't get you in trouble with John. No,
we
it's
appreciate
a great
your
couple.
support.
I'll say it. I like this. It's a great couple. We love them. Have a good time, everybody.
Congratulations for yesterday. Thank you, Mr. Trump.
A day after he met with several European leaders, all of whom rushed away from their vacations to help avoid capitulation, as the BBC described it, after Trump met with Russian President Vladimir Putin, where he flipped on calling for a ceasefire.
And he changed his tune on a major sticking point that echoes Russia.
And I think we'll probably end up at some point getting a ceasefire in the not too distant future.
I want it to end immediately. I want a ceasefire now.
Pretty soon have a full ceasefire.
He has made it clear to both sides that he wants to see a peaceful resolution and a ceasefire as soon as possible.
I'd like to see a ceasefire.
I want to see a ceasefire.
I don't think you need a ceasefire. You know, if you look at the 6 deals that I settled this year, they were all at war. I didn't do any ceasefires. But we can work a deal where we're working on a peace deal while they're fighting. They have to fight.
While also discussing how he was given election advice from the brutal dictator who has served more than 16 years across 2 terms as president. Yeah, because that's not worrying at all, especially when you hear him say things like this.
Upon peace, God willing we get peace, are you open to holding an election in your country?
Yes, of course. We are open for election, yes. We have to do safety circumstances, and a little bit we need to work in the parliament, because during the war you can't have elections, but we can do security. We need, we need a truth, yes, everywhere, in the battlefield, in the sky, in the sea, to make possible for people to do democratic, open, legal elections.
So you say during the war you can't have elections. So let me just say 3.5 years from now. So you mean if we happen to be in a war with somebody, no more elections? Oh, that's good. I wonder what the fake
you like this idea?
Yeah. No. Speaking of news, I got a question.
And then today, Donald Trump called into Fox and Friends, where he was supposed to discuss the meeting and shed light on his foreign policy regarding the ongoing war. But, well, instead, he devoted much of his attention to fawning over co-host Ainsley Earhart's relationship with his good mate, Sean Hannity, which made the panel as uncomfortable as any semblance of the truth does.
There's a guy named Sean Hannity. He might take a very lovely young lady that he knows very, very well to dinner in Washington, and they don't have to, and she's sitting right next to you, by the way.
That's right.
But
Mr. President,
I don't want to get him in trouble, so I better explain exactly. We don't want any secrets here. But
that's
that's the greatest relationship. I hope I'm not breaking any news. This could be the biggest. Hey, this could be the most important thing I said. But let me tell you, those are two great, Ainsley and Sean, great people. And when they go out to dinner, I don't want to see them get mugged. Now they can go out, they can hold hands, they can walk down the street. They're both superstars.
And while host Lawrence Jones tried to keep the master of the weave on track, it was impossible as he continued on a lengthy tangent.
I want to know who makes more money, because she's got to be making a lot. You know?
Mr. President, we're so happy for them. But on a serious note, Mr. President, when you had those world leaders, because this is the topic of conversation for the whole world, when you had them sitting in front of you, did they
Or pivoting to another area that everyone cares about is his want to go to heaven.
Just want to end it. I want to end it. You know, we're not losing American lives. We're not losing American soldiers. We're losing Russian and Ukrainian, mostly soldiers. Some people, as missiles hit wrong spots or get lobbed into cities like Kiev and towns. But, you know, if I can save 7,000 people a week from being killed, I think that's a pretty, I want to try and get to heaven if possible. I'm hearing I'm not doing well.
In this video, I just start kissing them. It's like a magnet. Just kiss. I don't even wait. And when you're a star, they let you do it. You can do anything. Grab them by the you can do anything. That's what you said, correct?
Well, historically, that's true with stars.
It's true with stars that they can grab women by the
Well, that's what it's, if you look over the last million years, I guess that's been largely true. Not always, but largely true. Unfortunately or fortunately.
And you consider yourself to be a star?
I think you can say that, yeah.
I mean, do I even go down the road of imagine this was Obama?
Imagine if I had done any of this. Let me just, I just want to be clear about this. Imagine that Imagine if I had pulled Fox News' credentials from the White House press corps. You're laughing, but no, this is what's happening. Imagine if I'd said to law firms that were representing parties that were upset with policies my administration had initiated, that you will not be allowed into government buildings. We will punish you economically for dissenting from the Affordable Care Act or the Iran deal. We will ferret out students who protest against my policies. It's unimaginable that the same parties that are silent now would have tolerated behavior like that from me or a whole bunch of my predecessors. So, and I say this not on a partisan basis. This has to do with something more precious, which is, who are we as a country and what values do we stand for?
But the thing is, this is indicative of where the president's focus is. It's not with resolving the war in Ukraine that he claimed he would have resolved in a matter of 24 hours in office. It's not with bringing down inflation, considering he just keeps lying about it, to the point that Fox can't help but admit the truth on air. Yeah, inflation's going up.
We're also fighting the menace of inflation to make life more affordable for American seniors, and we've ended Biden's inflation nightmare. So we have the worst inflation in the history of our country, and now our inflation is down to a perfect number, a beautiful number, hardly any at all. And yet our country is taking in tens of billions of dollars and trillions of dollars, actually trillions of dollars in tariffs. And you know all about it. It's been amazing. They say, why are we taking in so much money? Last week they found $29 billion and they couldn't figure out where it came from. I said, check the tariff shelf. And they said, how did you know that's where it came from? We're taking in billions and even trillions of dollars in tariffs. Paid by other countries who, frankly, were taking advantage of us for many, many years. And they were doing that to us, but our people didn't know it. We didn't have smart business people.
Breaking news right now, and a spike in the producer price level of inflation. Take a look. Markets are selling off here because the July PPI came in up 0.9%. Worse than the estimated up 0.2%. This is the headline number. It was expected up 0.2, came up 0.9%. Year over year, it is up 3.3% versus an estimate of up 2.5%. Now, when you look at core, it's also troubling because in the core PPI, it was up 0.9% versus an estimate of 0.2%. Year over year, the core up 3.7%, also higher than the estimated expectation, which was up 2.9%. These numbers have caused markets to drop. The Dow Industrial is down 105, the Nasdaq down 71, and the S&P 500 lower by 19. We want to take a look at producer prices with the Transportation Secretary. Sean Duffy will be here to talk about other things like the modernization of the FAA, as well as the investment in space. But we're going to start off with getting his expectation and reaction to a spike in producer prices. We'll be right back.
And of course, the elephant that shall remain ever so present in the room, the fact that still to this day, they've released nothing on the Epstein files, doing everything possible to get the media to discuss anything but that, even if it means trying to get them to talk about things like Fox News as if it was Love Island. The American people, they're not buying into it. Hence the response you'll see at Republican town halls across the country.
Who's responsible for establishing tariffs in our country?
Well, right now the president has taken that authority, but I imagine when we go back in September, we're going to be talking about that.
Why did he take that authority?
You're going to have to ask
You
him.
guys gave it to him. The House of Representatives are responsible for establishing tariffs. You gave that to him. The next thing I'd like to ask you, you look at the bigger picture. You're here to take
Tariffs have raised over $150 billion.
Who pays for that? Who pays for that? We pay for that.
Inflation has not gone up.
Inflation has not gone up. There are reasons it hasn't gone up if you look at the
People are not swallowing the snake oil.
The truth is more important than ever. Check out our new Truth Over Lies collection at store.MeidasTouch.com. All 100% USA union made.